And we are live on another edition of the K and K Sports Show. 4 people, 3 boxes tonight. 4 people, 3 boxes.
3 venues.
Big time show. I'm going to start with an opening statement. Last Saturday, the Garden was rocking. The Johnnies are back. First time since 2000. Carson, how old are you?
25.
Carson might not have been born. How scary is that?
That's crazy.
The last time the Johnnies won the Big East. But I'm just going to say this. We're just beginning. Rick effing Pitino. I said to Jen on the way after dinner tonight, I said, I'm so thankful he got fired from Louisville. I am, because we never probably would have got him, but he's ours now. And I am just 9:45 tomorrow night. I got to nap throughout the day. I got to work my schedule. I'll be ready to roll. I'll be screaming during the TV. It's 10 o'clock, but I'm ready to go. We don't have Graham tonight. I just got the word. So it's just us 4, but I'm fired up. March Madness begins. It starts now, but it starts really tomorrow. Carson Shear, I'm a 2 seed. You're a 2 seed. What's going on?
What's going on, boys? I was telling Paul and Kenny before the show starts. Tomorrow, I am doing absolutely nothing. I'm glued to my couch. I'm going to have like 50 chicken wings in front of me. It's going to be college basketball all day tomorrow and Friday. Can't wait.
Me too, Carson. I am ready to roll. I will be fired up for 9. I don't know how I'm going to function and work on Friday. I hope no one's listening, but it's going to be tough because it's a 10 o'clock start. It is what it is. We'll just get dressed. We'll get in and we'll work. The combo, Mr. Rosen, how are you? Were you wearing your Johnny Red tonight, Mr. Rosen?
Yeah, in honor of the Johnnies. Good evening, gentlemen. As you can see right to my left, you're on my left. Hey, I have a wonderful visitor. We're here together in the Rosen household and in my man cave, my place, and we can't wait to get started together. Good luck before I say anything else to both of your teams. And let's see a great March Madness.
Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Well, you said there's 3 boxes. There should be 2 boxes because 3 of us are in New Jersey. Carson's in another state up north, but you have no excuse, Kurt. You should be down here with us. 3
Yeah,
boxes.
I have no excuse. It's called a job. That's what it's called. School. Job.
I'm
Do I hear
with you.
jealousy? I think there's a
Nice life. Mr. Rosen has his beautiful life, and Mr. Kirkpatrick's on vacation. And he's saying to me, like, I want to be in work. Again, I love my job. If anyone in Kearney's listening, but of course I'd like to be off, but there'll be other times.
Main thing is you'll be off tomorrow at 10 p.m. So.
Oh, yeah, I'm off 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Absolutely. And again, how I function on Friday, that's another story, but we'll get into that. What's up, Mr. Kirkpatrick? Burnell Smith saying hello. What's up,
Hey,
Burnell?
what's going on? Not much. We got a good, like said, Paul and Luby, thank you so much for hosting. I'm in his sports room here, Kurt. It's nice. A lot of Giants stuff. It's bringing back some memories. So Mets, but
you got to deal with it, right? You got to deal with it.
Giant stuff, and staring at his marathon medals and all his accomplishments with the marathons and events with running. There's quite a bit there, and it's impressive. I'll tell you that much. So, but ready to get the ball rolling. Major League Baseball starts next week. We did a March Madness bracket.
Well, Major League Baseball started already.
Yeah. We did a March Madness show on Sunday. We're going to make an announcement in a few minutes. We'll let some people come in. We'll take a short little break, and we'll announce last night to get in your March Madness brackets in, and we'll let Carson take care of that in a little bit. We'll make an announcement or 2 with that. Try and get in. Paul got in. I know myself, Kurt, Jen. We're coming after everybody this year. None of us did well last year, but we're coming after you. But tonight, let's start with Major League Baseball. A little preview.
Oh, wait, I don't get quick hitters?
Yeah, I'm in New Jersey.
He's so used to
jumping right in and doing this stuff. But tonight we got Kurt's quick hitters, but I'm going to pass it to Paul because he's going to be the host tonight for us.
Right. Well, I'm going to pass it right back to our good friend Kurt and let him do quick hitters. So,
all right, I got a couple all over the board tonight. Give me, you could do 1, 2, 3, or 4. No more than 4. I'll start it off. March Madness favorite moments. One, I was very young, but I do remember St. John's getting to the Final Four in 85. I remember St. John's making a run in 2000 to the Elite Eight. I also remember, and I'm going to say this as a good husband, and I didn't root for Virginia a couple years ago because I bet against them every game that tournament, and they just took my paycheck. But looking back, I was very happy to see how much Jen loved her Virginia team winning a national title. The excitement that she got from winning it. She was a little like, you guys know Jen. You never saw that side of Jen, like almost like me screaming at the TV, a little of that. But seeing her to enjoy, I'm going to add that. And my fourth one, this is going to sound like a little crazy, but I'm going to take Wisconsin beating, if you guys remember, Calipari had an undefeated Kentucky team not that many years ago. I don't know, Carson, you were probably a little young. I'm not sure if you remember, but Kentucky was undefeated. They got to the Final Four, and I just did not want to see them go undefeated. And I rooted so hard for Wisconsin, and they beat them in the Final Four, and then Duke beat them for the championship. But those are 4 of my favorite memories. Carson, what do you got?
Was that the year with Frank Kaminsky, Kurt?
Yes.
Yeah. Michigan State made the Final Four that year too. We lost to Duke.
Yes, that was the year. Game. I was very happy that I wanted them not to get to the undefeated. So I remember rooting hard for Wisconsin.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great question. I got a couple. I think it was 2010. There was a shot to go to the Sweet 16, Michigan State and Maryland. It was a back and forth game. And Corey Lucius hit a buzzer beater 3 to go to the Sweet 16. So that was probably top 4. I think you got to throw UMBC in there. Beating Virginia, the first 16 versus 1. I know Jenny Hoops doesn't like to hear that, but in terms of like the college basketball landscape, I mean, that was historic. And then I think Michigan State beating Duke in 2019. That was the team that had Zion, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett, all 3 lottery picks, and we beat them with Cassius Winston. And then probably my favorite was Chris Jenkins, buzzer beater to win the national championship. I remember I was in a hotel room watching that game at like 11 p.m. and I was screaming. I couldn't believe it. So that's probably my top 4.
Paul.
I guess the very first one that comes to mind is the North Carolina State game against Fly Slammer Jammer when Valvano was running around the court after they put the ball back in to win the game, and he's looking to hug someone and just running around, and obviously they were tremendous underdogs, and they wound up winning that game. And another game that comes to mind is, of course, the Larry Bird, the fabled Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson championship game, Indiana State versus Michigan State, and that game was at that time, the pinnacle of college basketball and March Madness, and the great one-on-one matchup that those guys had. And I guess another one that comes to mind is the whole UCLA dynasty from, Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to Bill Walton, and the tremendous amount of wins and championships they had in a row. And I know I'm dating myself, but those were great teams and great players back then. So those come to mind immediately to my head.
Before I get to Kenny, our good friend Ryan Scoop Williams. Good evening, fellas. Happy MLB Eve for those who are not Cubs or Dodger fans, and perhaps Aaron Rodgers Eve for Giant fans. If ESPN is to be believed, and he's putting quotes, reports, they have an offer on the table right now.
The kiss of death.
Michael Ronquillo. Good evening, Kenny, Kurt, Kenny, Carson, and Paul. What's up?
Everybody's friend Michael Ronquillo, and I got one, Kurt. Johnny Beelan is saying, in New Jersey. Good evening, fellas. Glad to see the crew back. The crew back.
Well, I'm going to
glad to see you back. The crew.
I'm going to tell you this.
A couple of years there, John. Hold on, Kurt.
I'm going to break. No, I got to break some news, Kenny. I got to break some news. You just mentioned Johnny Beelan. We might be calling Johnny Beelan because I don't know if you guys know. he is officially running for some kind of office.
I
don't know
heard
if
that.
councilman.
Yeah, I
Well,
did
it might
hear
be
that, Kurt.
councilman Beelan soon. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad to
Throwing
see
that
the
out
crew
there.
back. If anyone is coming after anyone, it's me versus all of you. Ha ha ha.
let's go.
Well, get in that bracket, Johnny.
He's
Let's
not
go.
getting our vote, Kurt.
Let's go.
I got 3 for you, Kurt. I got 3.
Okay.
The first one, Mama Valenti, years ago, before Gonzaga was on the map.
Yes.
Gonzaga in her bracket to go to what, Kurt?
Final four.
And where did they go?
Elite Eight.
Yeah, and we were laughing.
Everybody
at
laughed
and
at
put
her.
On the map. That put Gonzaga on the map. She put Gonzaga on the map.
Yeah.
Okay. The second one, hilarious, but Fairleigh Dickinson, right in our backyards, Kurt, when they beat Purdue. My aunt and uncle lived on the same block as Fairleigh Dickinson University. I've been there many times, walking around the school, around the outsides. So good to see Fairleigh Dickinson beat Matt Painter and just have Kurt go crazy on Matt Painter was even more priceless. And the top one, Kurt, it had to be when I came to Atlantic City and they opened up the sports betting. And you mentioned Virginia earlier, but Virginia, when they beat Auburn, was my first bet I made at a sports betting place, and it was the easiest bet I made. Auburn covered that spread, and I was happy going into the night playing a little blackjack.
They did. I remember that.
How could that be not number one?
You're right. You're right.
No, I got to see Kurt and Jen for the first time after the wedding. I believe that was.
That's right. It was. You're
After
right.
your wedding,
was.
so it was the first time I got to hang out with Jen outside the wedding. So that was definitely number one. And then they ended up winning the championship. So that was big congratulations for her.
All right, next one. Obviously, we are all fans of a team in March Madness, right? So I'm going to say this: I don't even know how I can answer this because my answer is probably nobody, but I will throw somebody out there. If your team does not win, is there another team you would want to win? And the only one I would say, and Kenny mentioned them, is just Gonzaga. If St. John's can't win it, I want to see Gonzaga. I just think they're a team. They've been so good. They have done everything but win a title. So I would say Gonzaga, but not much. Carson, what about you?
Got to go with your Johnnies, Kurt. If my team doesn't do well, I got to support my friend's team. So I'll say the Johnnies.
Thank you. You know what? I'll change that. I'll take Michigan State.
There you go. Nice.
Carson, how awesome. I heard you say Clams. Imagine we get to the Final Four, us, me, and you. How
oh,
awesome
my gosh. That'd be awesome. That'd
go.
Be so great.
Let's go. Paul.
Obviously, St. John's, but of course, I got to be very close 1A to the Sparties of Michigan State. So come on, nice. Carson.
Let me guys ask you this one. Kenny, I'm going to ask you this question. If that happens, would that be in the Final Four, Pitino versus Izzo? Would it be one of the best Final Four coaching matchups of all time?
That would be up there. It'd have to be, really good. It'd have to be a top 5, maybe even top 3 for sure.
Kenny, you got a team.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt they'll get there, but I've seen crazier things. I'm falling in love in a lot. Besides your guys' teams, obviously, I want both of you guys to get there. I'm gonna go with Cinderella of all Cinderellas. I like this Grand Canyon team. I like what I see out of them. So let's see them get rid of. I know Carson and I are on different ends, but he's the Big Ten guy, so he knows. But I'm sorry, Willard, you better cover Porter. Because he's going to beat you if you're up 1 with 5 seconds to go. Porter will do the same thing Thompson did to you if you don't cover him. So watch out for this kid Porter on Grand Canyon to have a big game against Iowa State.
All right, I'm going to speed it up a little. Vikings last year, 15 wins, I believe, right? Not division winner, got bounced out in the wild card round, but got a lot of stuff back. Aaron Jones is back, right? You got obviously Jefferson and that receiver, they're loaded for bear. If you're them, Carson, do you go and get it? Would you, if you're running that team, would you go and say, I want Rodgers, or I'm going to put it, hey, here you go with a rookie coming off an injury, JJ McCarthy. It's in your hands to potentially try to win a championship.
I think last year, I would have changed my mind on this answer, but you saw how Rodgers struggled with the New York Jets, and they still had a bunch of offensive weapons, and he still couldn't figure it out. So honestly, I'm rolling with the kid. I'm going with JJ McCarthy. It kills me to say that, being a Michigan State fan, and he was from Michigan, but you got to go with the young gun. You saw potentially, Jordan Love Packers situation. He sat for a year, he rehabbed, he got better, and now he's going to show what he's got. So I'd roll with JJ.
Paul.
I mean, if I'm sitting there as coach of the Vikings, I want Aaron Rodgers. But that being said, I think Kevin O'Connell came out today and said that the Vikings are not interested in Aaron Rodgers, which I think is a big mistake. But
me too.
Better off for either the Giants or the Steelers. But yes, I would be very interested in getting him.
Kenny.
Another good friend of ours, Kurt, by the way, saying hello. Mr. Rob Neely
There he is.
Saying, Johnny's home by Monday. You shouldn't have said there he is first, Kurt. He should have let me finish. Johnny's home by Monday.
Ask Neely this question. Who does he rather want in the coaching game, Rick Pitino or bench guy John Shire? We're asking him who he wants.
That's right. He's a big Duke fan. So here I go, Kurt, with my answer to your question, quick hitter. JJ McCarthy, and they go get like a cheaper Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco to be the backup.
Okay. We got a question. We got a comment from Random Ryan. I don't know if Carson knows Random Ryan.
Yeah, what's up, Ryan? How you doing?
Ryan? Just joining. Go Bears. F the Vikings. F the Packers. And F the Lions.
I like it. Real quick, Kurt. Johnny Beelan, Neely saying Shire all day, baby. John Beelan saying, smart man, this Carson guy. Told you guys a few years ago about Rodgers. Jets will never win a ring.
There you go.
He was never on Rodgers.
Somebody please take the temperature of Rob Neely that he wants John Shire over Rick. All right. Real quick. Playoff game. Down 1. If you're coaching the Lakers, are you putting the ball in Luka's hands or LeBron's hands? Carson.
Oh, me? Wow. LeBron. You got to go with LeBron.
Me too. Kenny.
Yeah. I'm going to be different. I'm going to say LeBron brings the ball up and dishes it to Luka. Give it to Luka.
There's Luby Rosen. So cool to see you guys streaming from our house together, Kenny and Paul.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I got to tell you, that poppy seed cake, that was good, man. I shocked Kenny by saying I like poppy seed cake.
I was shocked myself.
Were you, Paul? I shocked you.
Absolutely.
I got a couple of surprises.
Do me a curveball. Let's use a Major League Baseball reference here.
Paul, go ahead.
I'm agreeing with Kenny. I think he brings it up. They're going to double team him. He's gonna pass it off to Luka for the game-winning shot.
All right, 2 more quick ones. So I was fortunate. I actually asked Jen this question before the Big East championship game, but I was fortunate to have St. John's win the regular season and the Big East championship, which St. John's hasn't done that in 40 years. But anyway, so I was fortunate for that. But there's a lot of teams that don't. So my question was to Jen, would you rather win the regular season championship and say you have a 20 game conference win, you did this over 20, you're the best team all year, or would you rather win the tournament and you win, hey, you have 3-4 big good games and you say you're the Big 10, Big East, Big 12 tournament championship. If I had to pick one, I'm going to take the regular season because I just think it's more of, listen, you were the best team in that conference. Carson, actually, you did it. So what's your answer to that?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Kurt. The regular season championship title is worth way more than a tournament. And the thing that's driving me crazy right now is all over online. You get all these Michigan fans. Oh, we won the Big Ten tournament. We're the best in the world.
No,
Michigan State swept Michigan twice by a lot in the regular season. And you play the entire Big Ten. You play your whole conference.
Right.
So definitely it's the regular season champ.
Paul.
I would say the regular season because hopefully you'll be consistent throughout the year. But I will say this. You go into a tournament and win 3 mostly hard games, it toughens you up for the tournament, for the March Madness. So I think getting hot in those last 2-3 games of the tournament, of the championship play, I think helps a team go into the tournament.
And Mr. Kirkpatrick.
I agree with all you guys, but I would just add, the tournaments are good for the teams that don't have a shot of getting in unless they win the tournament. So they can make a run and win the tournament, and we've seen it in smaller conferences. We've seen it around basketball that it happens. You win the tournament and you get in. So that's good. But you guys nailed it with the regular season is what matters, because you're playing all your teams in your conference, plus some out of state schools too.
Got a couple hellos. David Burns watching from Cedar Hills, Texas. What's up, David? And Albert Knoppers, our good friend, saying, what's up, guys? All right, my last one, Kenny. We're going to hear a lot of stuff starting tomorrow, March Madness. And the great thing about it, we were in the Garden, we heard it, or college chants. So I want to hear you guys give me a little college chant that you're going to be chanting. I'm going to start it up. Let's go, Johnnies. Let's go, Johnnies. Carson, you're up.
There's a saying around Michigan State where half the fan base says go green, the other half says white. So go green, go white, go green, go white. That'll be my chant tomorrow.
Paul, are you echoing me?
Yeah, I'll echo you, but with a trailer. Go Irish.
There you go. And Mr. Kirkpatrick,
the only thing I could do is say, Izzo Patino.
All right,
Izzo Patino.
I'll take it.
Let's go. I want to see it more than anybody, man. I want you guys to both get there. I told you it's a takeover show for you guys if it happens.
I'm done.
All right. Great job, Kurt.
Yeah.
Couple comments from earlier.
Nice,
Random Ryan said about LeBron, easily LeBron, as he can draw a foul from the air. Fouls from there. And Michael saying that the 49ers regret Kurt letting Dre Greenlaw go.
Yes. I forgot. I didn't see that. I didn't get that comment in. Sorry about that.
No, just that. Thanks for the comments, guys. So we got a little Major League Baseball preview for Paul's going to take over for a second here.
So with the start of the baseball season already underway, Dodgers winning 2 games, not in Los Angeles or the friendly confines of Wrigley Field, but in Japan. So we're going to start with Major League Baseball. We'll go over the division. So we're going to start with Kenny. He's going to do a little breakdown of the American League East. So Kenny, I'll take it away.
Yeah, I'll do these quick, like a little 2-minute or less breakdown, catch up on a little time. I think we're good on time looking at the clock. AL East, last year's champs, Yankees, dealing with an injury bug, guys, right off the bat. Garrett Cole out for the year. Their big signings on the offseason, they bring in Clay Bellinger to take over center field, move Judge back to right. Of course, the big news, Soto going to the other side of New York. Bring in some veterans. Paul Goldschmidt comes over, and we bring back Jazz Chisholm. Max Fried comes over from the Braves. I think the Yankees are going to be a little more disappointing than people think. The rest of the division is coming after them, and that includes our rival, the Red Sox, and I am scared of this team with their signings of Bregman. They bring back Devers and Garrett Crochet, who can easily be a Cy Young Award winner this year on the Boston Red Sox. It's not the White Sox this year, so watch out for that. Orioles lost a little bit. They still bring back their 2 guns. Gunnar Henderson's back. Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman are back. Mountcastle, they got a nice little offense there. Watch out for them. Rays are always the Rays. Watch out. If you never know about the Rays, you probably know 2 names on the Rays, and they're always there. And I think a disappointing team in this division is going to be the Blue Jays. They're dealing with the Vlad Guerrero stuff. I think by the trade deadline, you may see names like Bichette on the block. Even Vlad Guerrero might be on the block at the deadline and try and get something for him, knowing he's not coming back next year. So my question to you guys, I'll answer first. AL East champs, I hope I'm wrong, obviously, and I'm doing the reverse psychology. I think it's going to be the Red Sox. I think this team is going to be surprising a lot of teams in the American League and in baseball this year. And my disappointing team, we'll get to it may be the Yankees. I could say go Yankees, but it's going to be the Blue Jays. This team's going to finish last in the division. So my dark horse in the division, it's It's got to be the Red Sox. Nobody's really picking them, so I'm going to go Red Sox. So first round, I'll go out. I see it on the screen. Kurt, Carson, and Paul, who's next to me. So Kurt, give me who you think is going to win the AL East and a dark horse.
I know a lot of people are down on the Yankees and Garrett Cole out and all that stuff, but I know a lot of people all this division. I'm not sold on Baltimore. They definitely did not.
They lost Santander.
Yeah, they did. They did. They were supposed to take that step last year. So I'm not. I'm not a big believer on that. Boston is Boston with the Bregman signing, that is big, right? They picked up their ace pitcher. So yes, I would be a little worried about them. Toronto, like you said, Kenny, just, I think that falls apart. I think Paul gets his wish and Guerrero becomes a Met sooner than later. And Tampa Bay, I mean, I just don't think they got the talent. I'm going to take the Yankees. I don't love this team, especially without Cole, but, I think they will make a move. They will go get pitching. They might not fill it for Cole, but I think they're going to go out and get somebody at the deadline. I like Chisholm a lot. Is in a full year there. I'm going to take the Yankees.
Got a dark horse if the Yankees didn't win it?
I guess I'll go Boston as a dark horse. And my disappointing team, I'm going to go with you with Toronto. I think that team is done. I think, like you're saying, it's going to be a total rebuild. And I think Paul's going to be happy because I think Guerrero wants to be a Met. Mets want him. So again, are you really going to give up for him? I'm going to say Guerrero gets to the Mets earlier than expected.
And Michael brings up a great point. They also got Walker Buehler, the Red Sox, from the Dodgers. So great point there, Michael. Carson, what do you think about the AL East?
Yeah, you've been hot on them last year, Kenny. I'll go with the Orioles. I just think that's their time. They've been getting closer and closer to the postseason. Got one of the best farm teams, in the majors, and I think they're going to overtake the Yankees this year. A possible World Series dark horse too. Watch out for the Baltimore Orioles. I think a disappointing team is probably going to be the Yankees. They're the favorite right now in the AL East. But again, like you said, guys with Cole and, they might creak their way into the wild card. But again, Aaron Judge, I still have to see it in the postseason. So, I think the winner's going to be Orioles. Disappointing team is the Yankees. And then dark horse, I'll say I like the Red Sox.
Yeah, Red Sox are going to be a hot pick for some people. Paul.
Yeah, I'm going to echo Carson. I think the Orioles, the young players are going to finally gel together, and I think they're going to have a breakout year. They were close last year, made the playoffs, and I think this year they can take the division. I think also the Yankees with some injuries, who knows if Stanton's going to come back, and obviously Cole's gone for the whole year. I don't think they're going to play as well as they can possibly play. And the Red Sox, I agree with you guys. I think with the signings they made, I think Bregman brings a championship type of mentality to that organization, which is what the Red Sox needed for a long time. So I think the Red Sox are going to be the dark horse team in that division.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
That's the AL East preview for you. All
guys. Right, let's shift over to Carson in the middle of the country in the American League Central. And Carson, why don't you give us a few minutes of your overview of the Central?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. So I'm looking at FanDuel, the odds right now. So the Twins and the Tigers are the same right now, the two favorites, plus 220. Believe it or not, the Guardians are picked third in the division, even though they just got to the ALCS last year, a hard-fought battle with the New York Yankees. Then you got the Royals that are still competitive. And then you have the Chicago White Sox, who their whole system belongs in the minor leagues. They might win 20 games again this year. So you got the four teams. This is probably the biggest division that is up for grabs. Any single one of these teams can win it. You got Bobby Witt Jr., obviously with the Royals. They still got a nice young core. The Guardians, they just proved it last year. They got to the ALCS. Teams like, my Tigers, they had like a less than a 1% chance just to make the wild card round, went on that tremendous run, upset the Astros, got to a game 5 with the Guardians, fell short. Still got Tarek Skubal, who, in my opinion, is the best pitcher in baseball right now. And then you still got the Minnesota Twins, who had a disappointing year last year, but they're healthy. They still got Correa and a bunch of great pieces as well. So I think I'm going to go with my Tigers. I think, this is AJ Hinch's team. I think he finally knows this this team. We got guys like Gleyber Torres, a couple pieces from the Yankees that came over. This is going to be a big year for Spencer Torkelson. He has to hit the bat. Former number 1 overall pick, guys like Casey Mize, and Matt Manning and that whole rotation has to get it together to go with Scooble. So I'll say the Tigers win, but the Royals, man, I could totally see as I wouldn't really call them a dark horse because all 4 of these teams are totally up for grabs in the AL Central. Probably the hardest division to pick to win. So, and then I'll say disappointing, maybe the Guardians, just because I think it's going to be hard for them to top what they did last year. Kurt.
You know what? I'm going with your Tigers here. I love the 1-2 combination of the pitching, obviously. And can I, Carson? Can you just be on board with me on this one, please? He's the best pitcher. Would you say he's the best pitcher in baseball, or top 3 best pitchers in baseball?
Yeah, I would 100% say so. Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this: just say, right? Just say. Because I don't want to say right now you guys are a World Series contender. You're better. You're getting there, right?
Yeah.
But just say you guys don't have you're where you were last year before you guys get hot. Please, for God, I don't want to. The Tigers should trade. Why? Why? It drives me up the wall. You just saw how good this team was. They were 3 outs away from an ALCS.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give him up because they just build around him. Like, let's trade him. I hope my Denver Bronco guys are listening. Let's trade him for C-level prospects. Let's get 6 prospects that are never gonna stop. You don't go anywhere unless you want them. I want the top 4 prospects in your organization. Then we take them. But we're not for C prospects. But I'm taking the Tigers. I think it's Tigers and Royals, but I'm going to go with that pitching. I think you guys maybe add somebody else at the deadline. I think your 1-2 combination, and that's a scary combination if you do get to the postseason. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take Detroit.
Nice. Paul.
I love the Tigers, and you'll see when we do our wild card, but I'm going to go with the Royals. I think Bobby Witt Jr. is the real deal, man. One of the top 3 players in the baseball, and I think this team is another team with youngsters that are going to come on. They proved they got to the playoffs last year. I don't think it was a fluke. So I'm going to pick them to win the division. My disappointment's going to be the Guardians. I think they're going to slip a little. I think the slip was showing a little in the playoffs. And my dark horse will be the Twins from Minnesota. I think they have a bounce back year. Nice.
Kenny, who do you got?
Going to shock the world. I got the White Sox. I'm joking. As for Random Ryan, who said, as a White Sox fan, can I skip this year? Let's give you a little laugh there, Ryan. And Lindsay saying good evening, and she agreed with you, Kurt. So thank you, Lindsay, for joining. Carson, I'm not saying this because you're a Tiger fan. Gleyber Torres is going to help the Tigers, A. And bringing Jack Flaherty back, B.
Yeah.
It's going to be the difference because you were there and made a historic run at the end and got into the playoffs, and you didn't lose anybody. Mm-hmm. So you bring Torres in and you bring Flaherty in to back. Tells me the Tigers, kept their pieces. That's going to be the difference maker. These other teams are good, average teams. You put them in the AL East, they're not going to be anywhere. You put them in the AL West, they're probably not going to be anywhere. Because the Central is so even, I give the upper edge to the Tigers because of how hot they were at the end of last year. Continue at the beginning of this year. Give me the Tigers. And my disappointment team, I'm going to be with Paul, the Guardians. I think they lost a little bit. I think that they're going to fall down a little bit. And if I got to make a surprise team, I don't like the Twins. I'll say the Royals win the division as a surprise. And, they were a wild card team last year. That'll be my surprise team winning the division.
Love it. Yeah, all 4 of those teams, man, are good. They can go on a run. So AL Central, it's totally up for grabs. But that's all I got for AL Central.
Thanks. Good job, Carson. Thanks. All right, let's move out west. Kurt, why don't we do the AL West?
Okay, so AL West, I hope Jody Moncrief is listening to me because, again, I'm not I don't have a favorite baseball team, but Kenny, I just think maybe it's because I like busting on the Yankees, but listen, it's one of the, I know Scoops is going to cry about garbage cans and all that, but listen, they're one of the best organizations around, man. Every year they are in it. They're contenders, and why not? They're going to look a little different, right? No Bregman, no Tucker, but hey, they picked up Walker. They're still the Astros. It's interesting to see about Altuve, right? Is he going to play the outfield? Is he going to play? So it's going to be interesting to see where he does. But again, you still got Brown and Valdez as your pitchers. So listen, the Astros are still the Astros. The faces may change, but they're still going to be there. The Oakland A's, right? You guys are joking around about the White Sox. Would you say, Kenny, they're not going to win how many games?
No, right? Carson said they win 20 games. Random's not watching. Kenny wants to skip.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, a couple of years ago, people were saying that about Oakland, right? And how bad are they and stuff like that. But, hey, listen, your boy, Paul, right? Mr. Severino over there. They're going to be better, right? I mean, are they going to be a playoff team? I doubt it. But, listen, this team's going to play hard, right? New venue, all that kind of stuff. Again, I still think a couple years away from contending, but hey, they'll probably be exciting. You got your young talent there, Severino. Again, I wonder if Severino is going to kind of be a guy like he's there now, and then hey, they move him at the trade deadline. Paul, would you take him back at some point later on here if you can get him? Then you move over and you got the Mariners, and again, led by. Hope Scoops not listening to this. The guy, what is it? The one that got away. Remember, he didn't want Luis Castillo. Well, Luis Castillo is doing Luis Castillo things in Seattle. Obviously, Julio Rodriguez is back there, MVP candidate, one of the best players in baseball. But again, they are again built on pitching. I don't want to say like small ball, but I mean, they do play that kind of ball game. They play that kind of game. But again, high level talent there with Rodriguez, but I just think this team again built on the pitching. And then you go to what was it last year, 2 years ago, the world champs, the Texas Rangers. And this is the team I like, man. I'm telling you, this team. And again, Paul, I just keep reading pictures. They're all your guys.
I know.
Jacob, you know what? Jacob deGrom, I really think, Carson, I know you're a FanDuel you're a guy. If you got what is his Cy Young odds this year, Jacob deGrom? Because I think it's going to be a huge bounce back season for deGrom. This team can hit right now. They got Jock Peterson along with Seager, and that whole group is back. But Evaldi and deGrom to head up your pitching staff again. If they get into the postseason, I would love having that as a 1-2 combo. There's your American League West.
You forgot Keats Angels, but there's really not.
Angels. Oh, I'm sorry. Angels. Yeah. Sorry. Let's just get right to it. Disappointing team. I don't want to hear about him anymore. Mike Trout put on 10 more pounds of muscle. He'll hit 3 home runs. He'll be out for the year again. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm so sick of his antics.
14-1 Kurt for deGrom.
I like that. So let's get right out of the way. I didn't even want to talk about most disappointing team is the Angels. They'll be blown up instantly. But you know what? Move Trout, get him out of there. Enough of him. I'm gonna pick the Astros though. I know tough between me and the Astros and Rangers. We'll get to it later on when we get to the wild card. But I just think when you got that winner mentality, that's hard to lose. You still have a lot of guys that are there from the championship years. And again, I've always said this, that is an organization. They are willing to spend. Hey, if somebody is up on if there's somebody that they can definitely use and there's a star player, they won't think twice about moving prospects to go get them later on. So I'm going to take the Astros. Carson, what's your thoughts? AL West.
Yeah, short and sweet. I think the Mariners are going to win this division. I think it's their time. I'm really big on Julio Rodriguez, and disappointing team I'm going to say is the Astros.
Kenny.
I like the Rangers, Kurt. You've read my mind when you said deGrom, and they're 2 years from the World Series. Corey Seager, I think, is going to have a monster year. I'm going to take the Rangers, Kurt, but in a close division.
Paul.
Yeah, Kenny and I were talking. Unbeknownst to each other, we both picked the Rangers. As usual, great minds. I think disappointing is going to be the Astros this year. They've lost some key players, and I think it's going to be hard for them to make up for those losses. And not that it's so much a surprise or dark horse, but my dark horse team will be the Mariners. Bunch of good players, and I think it might be their time, possibly bidding on a playoff position.
Okay.
All right.
Shift
Go over to the
let's
NL.
take a quick 2-minute break for people that are still around, Carson. I don't want to lose out. We got some new people in there. Want to mention about our March Madness bracket challenge real quick.
Yeah, March Madness bracket challenge, guys. Kenny, Kurt, Paul, and I, we're all doing a bracket prize pool for free. All you got to do is be a follower of this stream show, K&K Sports Talk Show, and my show, Ticket Time. Good luck. I'll post the link in the chat. You guys got until basically 12 hours from now, because I think the first game is at 12 p.m. tomorrow, so it's coming up fast. Last second to get your bracket in. Good luck, everyone.
Great, Carson. Thank you. I don't have Graham here to put the link up.
I got you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, if you want to join us, please have some fun with March Madness. But back to you, Paul.
Okay. We'll jump over to the National League, and we'll start with the National League East. And obviously, that's going to be a loaded division with my Mets, Braves, and Phillies in no particular order right now. Atlanta is going to come back strong, even though they made the playoffs last year. But, of course, they're going to get Spencer Strider back. They're also going to finally get Ronald Acuna Jr. back shortly, maybe not at the start of the season. Obviously, a consistent, solid lineup that they always have, and their pitching will improve. Schwellenbacher, the guy that also came on at the end of the year, is going to be a tremendous pitcher for them this year. The Phillies, again, solid lineup. In my opinion, the best pitching staff in the division, led by Zach Wheeler, Hall of Cy Young Award candidate, maybe the best pitcher in the National League this year. And their lineup, of course, is solid. Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Stott, and the rest of them. So they're going to be a solid team once again. And then, of course, my Mets, between Lindor, a guy by the name of Soto that they slightly picked off from the Yankees, and Alonso, maybe the top three hitters in any lineup in baseball. The injuries already, though. McNeil's out. Alvarez is out, our catcher. And our pitching staff, Mets pitching staff, is going to have some questions already. So that's going to be a challenge, at least the beginning of the year. Nationals are going to be a somewhat young and exciting team. They have a couple of good players, James Woods, C.J. Abrams. But again, I think they're about a year or two away putting it all together. And like the White Sox, the Marlins are a joke. I mean, their roster is AAA at best, and I feel bad for the new manager there. So they may fight the White Sox for the worst record in the majors this year. So I'll go Kenny, Kurt, and Carson. Give me your division winner.
Yeah, Kurt, I'll read the comments real quick.
Okay.
So Michael giving us a 16 seed that can advance. Mount St. Mary's, he thinks, can advance to the March Madness tournament. So that's the 16 seed. If you're going to pick somebody, watch out for them. Our good friend Keith Brugman, Denver Bronco Roundup co-host of mine. Gentlemen, is there a better sound than the crack of the bat? Good to see you all. Keith, you were 2 minutes late. Kurt did his 10-second rundown on the Angels last, and Mike Trout and all his injuries. You missed it. Go back and check it out. A few minutes ago, it was pretty funny. My AL champs, I like I said about the Rangers, DeGrom coming back. You nailed it, Paul, with Strider, and to get Ronald Acuna back in that lineup at the beginning of the year. I'm going Braves to win the division. My surprise team in this division is going to be the Nationals. I'm not saying they're going to win the division or, get in the wild card. Their ceiling could be in the running for that third wild card. They got some young pitching that I really like, watching some of those games down in the D.C., Maryland area. This team's going to be legit. And Kurt knows a couple of years ago, I predicted them to go to the World Series and win. And I was the only one when they won that year that had the Nationals. Watch out. Not saying they're going to get to the playoffs this year, but keep a radar on this team. They're going to fly under the radar and catch some teams by surprise. My disappointing team is going to be the Phillies. I'm going to say the Phillies are going to be disappointing in this division.
Interesting, Kurt.
Listen, I can't. I disagree with Mr. Kirkpatrick a lot, and I can't disagree more with him on this one. I think the Phillies are going to win. Now, you're asking me about winning the division. That means 0 to 162, right? We're going to get into the postseason later, but to win the division, I think it's the Phillies, right? I know the Acuna's coming back, and what's his name? The pitcher. Oh, what's his name? From Atlanta.
Strider.
I know and all that, but I'm telling you, this Philly team, been there, done that. They're pretty much back. They have an unbelievable lineup. I'm missing Nola's their third pitcher. I mean, listen, he's aces on some of the people on some of the teams. So I'm going to take the Phillies for the sleeper. And again, when I say sleeper, I mean, we all know the Mets are going to be a good team, but I think a lot of people now are saying, well, it's going to be the Phillies and Braves to win the division. I'm going to pick the Phillies, but I'm telling you, I'm telling you, the Juan Soto, second, possibly the best. It's between him and Ohtani for the two best players in baseball. You're adding him to this lineup now. And I know there's some questions with the pitching, but again, he's going to go out. Cohen's going to go out and spend. So anybody that's available, he's going to try to go get. So just, again, I'm not going to pick them right now to win the I wouldn't be shocked though if they win the NL East. And my disappointment's going to be Atlanta a little bit. I think when I'm saying, like a lot of people thought, here comes the dynasty. This team's going to be this. Now, are they a very talented team? Yes, but we're not picking them to win the division. We're not picking them to, I mean, I got them as the wild card, but I'm not going to have them go into the World Series. So I think they're going to disappoint a little bit.
Okay. Carson?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the Braves. I just think now that they're healthy again, I still believe Acuna is a top 5 player in baseball. So I think, their pitching is still going to get them there. They're the favorite, but I'll say the Braves. I'm hoping the Mets can pull it off, Paul. Nationals and Marlins, I think they're just in a whole other stratosphere, similar to the White Sox. No chance they're going to win this. It's a 3-team race, Braves, Phillies, or Mets. I don't even know. I mean, would you consider the Mets as a dark horse? I guess. It's hard to get. Braves are plus 125, Phillies are plus 200, and Mets are plus 220. That's the odds on FanDuel right now. So,
Right.
I'll go with the Braves, but dark horse, I'll say the Mets.
Okay. I'm going with the Phillies. I agree with Kurt. I think for 162 games, they still have the best division, the best team in the division, though. And with the Mets beating them in the playoffs last year, I think they're going to have a little bug up there, to really come back hard. But that doesn't mean the Mets will not be competitive. I think they will be. We'll talk about that as we get to the wild card stuff. And I think I agree with Kenny. I think the Nationals will have a decent team. Again, with the Mets, Braves, and Phillies in that division, they're not going anywhere. But I think they can cause some problems for teams in the division.
Love it. Keith's back saying, anybody know this question? You can answer it. I don't. Keith, I will try and find that answer. Has anybody heard whispers of Major League Baseball expansion? Have we heard anything?
What I've heard in Tampa, they declined putting in the money for the new stadium. So now there are whispers about possibly moving the Rays to Charlotte, Orlando, Nashville. So I'm not saying that's expanding, but I'm saying there could be a change in location for the Rays.
Okay. Looking at the time, we got roughly 10 minutes left, 10 to 12 minutes. Roy's there saying hello, guys. Want to say hi. Want to do the NL Central, Carson? I think Carson's up next. We can do that pretty quick. Is not, nobody's got a horse in that race. So
sure. Cubs, Brewers, Reds, Pirates, and Cardinals. Cubs are the favorite. They're playing the Dodgers right now in the Tokyo series, down 0-2 in that series. I think teams like the Reds, I really love Ellie De La Cruz, a huge dark horse for the MVP this year. You got teams like the Brewers who, have played well in the postseason in the past. I think it's going to be the Reds. I think finally they're going to get their shot. I think this is probably the best value play you can get out of any division right now. I do like the Reds, but I would say the Pirates are a dark horse with Paul Skeens and those boys over in Pittsburgh. We'll go to Kenny.
Carson, check the odds on the Pirates winning the division because Paul Skeens, that's all I need to say, for a chance in this division where nobody's a big favorite.
Mm-hmm.
My advice to the Wits and Wagers fans, take a shot on the Pirates. I don't know if you got those
Plus
odds.
850, Kenny.
Take a shot, pizza money, as Joey Clams would say. Throw it on the Pirates because that's a young team, and you got arguably the best pitcher in baseball. You know, you can argue Skubal in the American League. Skeens is there in the National League. Give me him all day, and you know he carries that team to a pennant in a division where I think the Brewers are going to be the disappointing team. And you know, but dark horse is Pirates.
Nice, Kurt.
You know what? I'm gonna go a little. I agree with Kenny. Pirates as the dark horse. Disappointing, I agree with him also is the Brewers, but I'm going to take the Cubs. I know they're playing the Dodgers. A lot of teams are going to lose with the Dodgers. I mean, let's be realistic, but the Tucker acquisition there. And again, I think they, again, the little mixture now of some vets with the young talent. And again, I feel like that's an organization that they'll go for it now, you know? So I think that his team will look different later on in the season. I'm going to take the Cubs.
Carson, before Paul goes, Kurt, read Keith's line of the night.
I always thought letting Nolan Ryan walk out the door would be the worst thing the Angels would ever do. And then Ohtani. Ugh.
Man. Oh, man. And you got Mike Trout. You can't get rid of Mike Trout.
He has New York Met overtures with the players. The Mets have let go.
Perfect trade. Stanton for Trout. Let's do it, Keith.
Yeah. Paul, who you got in the NL Central?
Yeah. We'll do it short and sweet. I like the Cubs. I agree with Kurt. I think disappointing is same thing with Kenny, the Brewers, and I like the Reds as a dark horse in that division.
Nice.
All right. Last but not least, the NL West, and I have a feeling where we're all going to go.
Yeah, I don't want to wait. Listen, I'll do this in 20 seconds, right? I mean, you know, listen, Diamondbacks, great little combo with Burns and Gallen at 1-2 up there. The Giants, I mean, again, listen, I think they, you know, Verlander's there now. I think they always overachieve. So again, nice little roster. And again, they will overachieve. You can like pencil them in for like always 85 wins, 86 wins. Padres, again, look at the lineup, right? There's Kenny's boy, Michael King, right? You got Yu Darvish. So pitching staff, the lineup, Tatis, Machado, you know, Xander's over there. But I mean, you guys got to be joking around. I mean, these Dodgers are just lock it in. They're going to be your world champ. I think there's one team that can beat them, and Paul might be happy about it. They're coming from Flushing. I just don't know if they can get them this year. Other than that, it's a wrap. I mean, this team is just loaded. Oh, they lost this pitcher. They lost that pitcher. Oh, no big deal. We got Blake Snell now. I mean, and you picked up the guy Sasaki from, where is he? Japan, right? He's Japan?
Yeah.
I mean, just pick him up and throw him into the rotation. It's just the rich get richer. They're the best team in baseball. I don't think anyone's going to even come near them in a playoff series. So I'm going Dodgers. Carson.
Yeah, Dodgers. Like I said, Padres, maybe they might, you know, catch them on a little streak there towards the end of the year in October, September season time. But like you guys are saying, Dodgers are too good. Minus 750 to win. So Vegas knows what's up.
Wow. Paul.
Yeah, obviously Dodgers. I think my disappointing team is going to be the Padres. I think they're going to take a dip this year. My dark horse, the D-backs. I think they made some good moves in the offseason.
Mr. K.
I mean, Dodgers, obviously. If I had to throw a dark horse in there, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but I'm using this as a dark horse that can maybe get to 80 wins this year. Give me the Rockies. Home field advantage, 80 wins.
Oh, I forgot the Rockies. I forgot to even mention
Let's go, Denver. Let's go, Trevor. Let's go, Rocky fans. Ernie Mays. Let's go.
500 to 1 to win the division.
Yeah, no, not to come close to the division, but to be competitive, get 75 to 80 wins would be an accomplishment. So let's get that. That's my dark horse to end the division breakdowns.
All right. So I'll go Kurt, Carson, me, and then Kenny. Kurt, give me your National League wild card teams.
My wild card teams are the Mets, the Braves, and the Padres.
Okay. Carson? Who's your National League wildcard teams?
I'm going to go Phillies. I'm going to go Cubs and Padres.
I'm going Mets, Braves, and Diamondbacks. Kenny?
Mine are going to be Mets, Diamondbacks. I'll say Phillies get in as the third. That's my disappointing team, barely getting in.
Okay. American League wild card, Kurt.
I'm going Rangers, Mariners, Royals.
Carson?
I'm going to go Royals, Astros, and Red Sox.
I'm going Yankees, Red Sox, and your Tigers, Carson.
Nice.
I'm going Mariners, Yankees, Royals.
Okay. MVP, National League, Kurt.
I'm doing it. Your boy, number 22, Mr. Soda.
Nice. First Met ever to win if he does get that honor. Carson?
I'll go with Tatis. I know everybody's going to pick Ohtani and Soto, but I'll go different. I'll say Tatis.
Nice. That's different.
I got a good one.
He does. I'm going Mookie Betts. That's my
Nice.
MVP.
I got a good
Kenny.
one. If Ohtani was to get hurt, this is where some play comes in. Give me Ronald Acuna Jr. coming back, baby. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
That's my big bet. MVP. Take a shot. Play.
Okay. Nice. American League MVP, Kurt.
I'm gonna go Bobby Witt Jr.
Carson.
I'm going to be off the walls again. Gunnar Henderson. He's the truth in Baltimore.
Yeah. Good
It's a
pick.
good pick.
Great minds think alike, Kurt. I had Bobby Witt Jr. myself. And Kenny?
Kurt, if the Rangers are going to come back with DeGrom, they're going to need some of their offense too to come back,
Yeah.
right? Give me Corey Seager as the AL MVP.
Good one.
All right. Cy Young, Kurt. Who do you like in the National League?
It's tough. I don't want to pick an Atlanta guy because I think an Atlanta guy is just going to be too easy. Give me a second on that one.
Okay. We'll come back. Carson?
Cy Young in, you said the National League?
Yes.
I'll go with Corbin Burns, Diamondbacks.
You know what? Come back to me.
All right.
Give me the Pittsburgh kid.
No, I got that Pittsburgh kid, Kurt. We're
Okay.
thinking like
Give it to me.
Okay. That's good.
Paul
Good pick.
Skeens. Yep.
Yeah, I said it earlier. Could be the best pitcher in the National League. I'm going with Zach Wheeler
Good one.
and Paul Skeens.
Paul
right?
Skeens,
So both
I'm
you and
going.
Kurt.
Michael Ronquillo's with you, Paul. Mookie Betts
Mookie
for
Betts,
NL
nice.
MVP.
Yeah.
All right. American League. I have a feeling we're all going to be on the same page. Kurt?
Hey, what? Cy Young?
Yes.
I'm going Jacob DeGrom.
Oh,
That's right. You were
Okay.
high on him.
all right. Carson.
Yeah, I would love to see Scooble go back to back. It's just so hard to do back to back for Cy Young. So I'll say Garrett Crochet.
Okay. I like your guy. I'm going to go with Screwball
Nice.
as Cy Young. And Kenny?
I'm with Paul. Tariq Schoolboy. I think he's the best, and I love him and Skeens. So get those the younger generation, the future of baseball. Let's go.
Guys, Jay Cook is saying good evening, brothers. What's up,
Love
Jay?
it. What's up,
Good
Jay?
evening, Jay.
Oh,
All right.
Trevor Salzman. Hey, what's up, boys? I hope everyone's doing well and ready for some baseball.
All right.
Trevor, I got the Rockies. That's a dark horse. Winning 80 games. Let's go.
All right. Big prediction now. Kurt, give us your World Series participants and your World Series winner.
All right, again, it's hard to get the matchups for the AL and NLCS, the championship series, because we don't know how it's going to fall, right? But
Right.
if I had to pick today, I'm going to go Rangers over the Yankees in the AL.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to take the Dodgers over the Mets again in the NL. And I think the Mets, listen to me. Here's my predictor. They get them next year, Paul.
Okay.
One more year.
All right.
And then I'm going to go Dodgers over Rangers.
Okay. I like it. And Carson.
Yeah, I'll just do World Series. Dodgers and Orioles, and Dodgers win in Game 6.
All right.
That'd be a
Nice.
fun one.
Kenny.
I'll do like Carson. I don't have my notes in front of me that I thought I had. I'm gonna go Rangers like Kurt, Braves shock the big favorite Dodgers. Braves win it all over the Rangers.
Okay. And I'm going to party like it's the decadent 1980s. We're going back to the 80s. The Mets versus the Red Sox again in a rematch from 1986. And my New York Mets are going to come out and be world champions again, beating the Red Sox.
Nice.
You better beat the Red Sox if that happens.
Real quick, 30-second quick hitter right now. Someone gave you you have a free $1 million bet. You can either bet the Dodgers to win it all or the field. Carson, what are you doing?
Dodgers.
Kenny.
Field.
I'm taking Dodgers. Paul.
Probably the Dodgers.
Yeah, you got it.
Because that 1 million bet could turn into 5 million if
Oh,
somebody.
no. But I'm saying you're going to win $1 million.
Okay. I still take the field.
Okay.
Because crazy things. There are a lot of teams there. All right,
All
boys.
right. That was,
Great job.
Good
Nice.
Major League Baseball preview.
Pretty much on time. We started a couple minutes late. Kurt, final thought time?
Listen, final thoughts is it's been how many years, man? March Madness is here. Real quick, Trevor saying Rockies could be the next D-back someday, Kenny. I think they're seeing what they have in their organization. Tovar is one of the best young shortstops in baseball.
Good.
Real quick, I'm fired up. 9:45 tomorrow night. Good luck, Carson. Good luck, everybody else. But let's get this done, Johnny's, baby. Let's go, Johnny's. I'm pumped up. I am pumped up. Tino, let's go, baby. Let's go, Carson.
Yeah, great show as always, boys. Love talking sports with you all. Big shot to everybody in the chat. Again, final call if you guys want to enter our free bracket pool. There's the link in the chat. And Michigan State, St. Johnny's Final Four matchup. And Kurt and I are going to go to witness it live.
Let's go. Let's go. Where is that? Was it in Vegas?
Where
is it?
Texas? Someplace in Texas, I think. Let me find out.
Kurt has his cowboy hat all ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
And his stirrups.
Carson, you like country music?
Yeah, I'll rock with it. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go.
Nice.
Cole Swindell, Carson. Cole Swindell. Start tuning into Cole Swindell.
There you go. San Antonio, Kurt.
Oh, San Antonio. Why did they go Vegas?
You
know what? I think WrestleMania is in Vegas. I think that's
okay.
My final thoughts is a rapid fire for you guys. Contender, pretender, little March Madness starts tomorrow. Carson, Maryland, contender, pretender.
Contender. They are an underrated team in the Big Ten. Dairy Queen, they can definitely get to a Final Four.
Nice. Kurt, Iowa State, contender, pretender.
Pretender because of the injuries.
Paul, I'm going to give you North Carolina. Big win yesterday. Won by 30.
Yeah.
Pretender.
And I'm going Wisconsin. I'm going pretender for them. I had a few more written down, but this is what I want to do with you guys. So contender, pretender. Great show, guys. Join our bracket. I'm going to pass it off to Paul for the final words tonight.
Great show, everyone. Good luck, guys. We'll be rooting for you over the next few days. And hey, we're all pumped for this.
I got to tell you this real quick, guys. We're talking about Mike Trout. Paul looks like Mike. Paul's hitting the weights. Look at Paul. Maybe it's because he's next to Kenny, but Paul looks jacked.
Nice.
Big announcement off the air. I know Carson's got to get ready to go. It'll be 5-second announcement.
Kurt, I have been going to the gym. I mean,
I know. Paul,
Nice.
somebody, two might listen. We might be getting a letter. You two might want to test you. I'm just throwing that out there. You're looking pretty big, Paul.
Listen, do I look 70?
No.
Thank you.
No.
Almost 70. But
all right, Kurt. Guys, thank you everybody for joining. New members, awesome. Join that ticket time K&K Sports Show Bracket Challenge. We'll see everybody next week.
Have a good one.